Hello, good evening. Sorry that I've started the stream late. Welcome back to another epic showcase, right here with me at my humble room here at CMP. I'm Clunk7up, your friendly neighbourhood gamer. Although you can just call me Spike. I got a little bit carried away with catching up with, or rather rewatching My Hero Academia. Which is why I'm a little late, so apologies there. Today, again, we're going to be spawning into the action-packed world of Star Citizen Live. But yes, I will apologise for my late beginnings. 39 minutes late, actually, compared to my schedule. So, anyone who watches, anyone who likes, follows, shares and subscribes, I do apologise for that. I am once again getting back into streaming, so after a break. The first stream yesterday kind of details and goes over issues, which I will also apologise for those who were watching at the time, or who have watched, that if you have come back and come to see the stream, come to see what Star Citizen is like live in gameplay, I think the conversation there speaks for itself, about an incident prior to my absence. But enough of that. Let's gear up, strap in, grab your mouse, keyboard, controllers, and get ready for a 4-full POV. My apologies, I forgot to uncap the camera before beginning. Hello! Welcome to the stream. Right, let's clear some of this jank off my screen for a start so that we can actually play, even though the game is still currently loading in. I think today I think I'm going to try and carry on with some of those box missions now that they've been unlocked. Go for the Ling stuff. I want to go through it with both the Titan, because I think that's, you know, small enough and dainty enough to just give the beginner a look into Star Citizen. If you happen to purchase that ship / game package to be able to play the game, and I might move it on up and get out another ship. We'll see how things go. We'll see where the game takes us. Oh, excuse me. I'm not tired today. Just lacking in oxygen apparently. So let's get out into the common area. Hit the old inventory. Yeah, we've got everything on. We've got everything with us. We're starting out where we finished off yesterday, which is Crew L1 Ambitious Dream Station, which means that I actually need to get into the Vulture that stopped here last night, sorry, to be able to process all those lovely boxes that we made and put into the cargo area on the clip grid last night, to be able to sell those materials. Oh, why am I yawning now? just as I start stream. Honestly, guys, I'm not tired. Honest.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval
So,
system.
yeah, the reason I need to
Vehicle
retrieve the
select.
vulture,
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Please visit us
as
again.
the end was last night,
Goodbye.
is because this place has a refinery on it, and not a TDD or a commodity shop, where I can, or at least I don't think it has. I might have to go to the Galleria actually, just to have a look. Let's have a look actually. That's a good point as well. Yes, the vulture is in hangar on in this below. Yeah, it's probably something I should first check before spouting off a load of nonsense. But yeah, basically you need a commodity shop, or what's known as a TDD, to be able to sell materials, recycled materials and composite materials from salvaging or mining, usually. Refineries you need for mining because they give better prices, and obviously there's some items that you need to have a refinery to be able to process. Oh, fuck's sake, yawning. I should not be yawning, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the cigarette I had. Who knows? So, oh, here's the shop. We don't need the shop. Platinum Bay, that's for ships and ship items. Ah, there we go. This is the place I want. This baby. Here we go. Let's see if we can select the vulture.
Everything good?
There we go. So we can sell these construction items. We've got 3 boxes and we're going to get 18.27k for them. That's alright. It's not brilliant, but it'll do. However, we can't sell the recycled material composites that we've got 3 boxes of as well. So we've managed to clear 3 boxes and make 18k. That's not too bad. But we don't have anything else to sell. Well, we do, but we just can't sell it here. That's not a problem. We can always sell that somewhere else. I always like to keep the ship empty, but we can leave. In fact, we will. We'll take the vulture out. We'll get to Seraphim, which I use as my spawn point, main base of operations. And we'll fly that. I think he said drive. That's just bad form, Spike. It's just bad form. We'll turn around and use that to fly to the station and put it in the hangar at the station over there, so that we can. My mouse works terrible today, so I'm trying to get in a comfy position. I'm not in my usual chair.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Yes, it is out. Cool. Hopefully it's not bust today like the doors were yesterday. Hang on, 1. Triple click, quadruple click, just to make sure it works. We'll go through the front just to make sure. Go up the front ladder. What does the chat think about this skin? I have to say, this is the kind of theming I want all my ships in. Is this blue and white? Obviously we won't get it there with the. I mean, look at the size of the ship. When you get in it, it doesn't seem like it's much of a vessel. But trust me, this game is, like I said yesterday, the word I'll be using is expansive. It's huge. I mean, the detailing alone. Look at that. It's got a side impact bar for this lower arm. I mean, look at this. Look at these components that are working and move, because we see them unfold and what have you when we're in the ship. But yes, the colour scheme, this blue and white, I think is exactly what I'm after in scheme wise for most of, if not all, my ships. I think it looks clean and neat. It's got a very it's a light approach to the scheme compared to some of the skins you can get for vehicles and such. This is the Luminalia, or Christmas, paint that I got through completing, I think it was 12 or 14 days straight gameplay. Not last year, the year before, when I first got this, and it was like, I think it was 3.17 or 3.18 version. We're now on 3.22.1. So we'll hit U, which is the power on for the ship. We will see how I'm changing the power triangle. That's F5, F6 and F7 to go in a certain direction. Well, I want it roughly in the middle, just so that we can power up. Let's stick it over there. We don't need weapons or the mining arms, so we'll keep that. Yeah, we'll keep that sort of there-ish, maybe we'll keep it there just in case. Anyway, key U. I mean, most of the keybinds for me are default because it's the best way to learn the game. Also, I was told, so that's what I've stuck it to. Yeah, so U is to power on the ship. I is to switch on the engines. O is the shields, and P, I believe, are weapons. Obviously, the ship doesn't have weapons, but I think the mining lasers get classified as such. Then I'm going to hit Alt N when it works. I have to do it a couple times. There we go. To be able to open the hangar doors. Because again, sometimes another glitchy bug of the game is that sometimes it doesn't recognise input commands properly. We noted that yesterday with selecting contracts. We noticed it yesterday with the doors on this ship in particular, and what else did we... Oh, and when we floated my dead carcass body, my 3D model that was still in the Titan from a previous play, from before I came back to streaming. So and that was to do with the release of the tractor beam when the body's in motion. So again, there are a few bits here and there that aren't a brilliant. They aren't brilliantly instant like you would expect in most games. But again, this is an alpha, so you know you come to expect these things. And the workaround for me is to just double hit or quad hit, triple click, whatever, any function that requires that input where it's a specific command. So like your doors, the function command where it highlights blue, to then be able to obviously activate certain in and out animations. Obviously certain stationary commands like powering on the ship, the engines, the shields, the weapons, they do respond in instance in like the first instance. It's more when an animation is involved that isn't necessarily getting into your ship. So like that one is for relaying the commands to open the hangar bay doors, but it's telling the game to also load up the response from the specific station that gives you the audio cue, the light up of the screen on each ship, and the response, and then to unlock the door wherever you may be, so that you're then able to take off. Which is what I've noticed. If there's animation involved that requires a specific set of assets to be loaded, you usually need to double, triple click it, or interact with it a couple of times, hold it longer than usual, just for it to engage in this game. That's a glitch and bug I can live with, because everyone accidentally doubles things and clicks things too many times, or hits things too many times. In this game, for me, it's kind of a baked-in necessity that hopefully will disappear over time, of course, as various bits get patched. There we go. You'll see that this isn't actually the viewpoint for me causing this head jitter. It's actually that white tracking reticle It took a little while to get to center screen. That is pretty much the only responsive sensitivity in the options that I would like to know what the option is to speed it up, because without a head tracking camera or IR like the Tobii device or the faceware devices that are immediately supported in this game, I find that it's quite slow in response. Or we're going to get bounced off the atmosphere. No, we're going to get bounced into the atmosphere either. Oof. That sort of jump always freaks me out, because that is something I've experienced in this game, is going to do that kind of jump. It bounces me in and out of the atmosphere and I just die. You explode. But for anyone familiar with the sci-fi show Farscape from the late-ish 90s to the early 2000s, it's a very John Crichton-esque move to get blasted to the other side of the galaxy and have to deal with peacekeepers. Although in this instance there's no space warp jump to the other side of the galaxy through the atmosphere where you're just immediately there. It just results in instant death. Although I suppose one could argue, if you died and your spawn point was the other side of this particular system, you could say you've done it. You just would arrive there in the station, in the spaceship that you did that maneuver in, obviously. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's get to Seraphim. That so many people mispronounce Sephirim, but it's Seraphim because it's S-E-R-A-P-H-I-M. But yeah, most stations like this, most places in fact, when you need a major that you need to Alt N to be able to interact with to get a landing station, you need to be within 10k. To land, usually comes up, please contact ACC to land. As you can see on the screen, it didn't come up in time, but because I know that it's around that sort of marker, it's why I've been able to interact early, if you like, and preempt it so that I can get the instruction loaded in, so that by the time I get there, the hangar door's already open. Because there's, depending on how many people are on the server, depending on the kind of interactions going on, you can find that there are people usually battling outside, or they might have decided to attack the station or the station's security, and in doing so, this thing lights up with its laser batteries, and they aren't pleasant. They've got a hell of a lot more range than anything that's on any of the ships when it comes to laser repeaters, cannons, Gatling guns, etc. So you're best to sort of steer clear, get everything sort of lined up, and you know, in situ, so that you can you're not going to get caught in a dogfight. It also applies to those that are fucking griefers, because who in a game likes griefers, huh? Where do I need to be? I need to face this way, because I always like to face the right direction so that I can get into the lift properly. There we go. Now this one I'm going to hold F and get out of the ship this side today to open the door. Just because I'm not going to chance going downstairs and locking myself out. We had that happen briefly with the cutter, which is also in the same Luminalia paint, but the way it applies to the cutter is in a slightly more blue-ish highlighted scheme. I do love the cutter, it does look gorgeous and sick. So, come on elevator, there we go. Let's get to the lobby. I'm pretty sure this has a cargo centre, so hopefully we'll be able to offload those construction materials. Oh, we can't do that bit yet. We need to, he's at hangar 2. We need to get to these babies, get into the lift, go down. And to the cargo centre. Go sell them at the commodity shop at the cargo centre. Now there is economy in this game for all the different items and materials that you can mine, collect, process, salvage, etc. And the commodity alerts are just that. They're alerts to the changes in pricing for when you get to the screens. The question is where are they in this place? I know that I can get here and sell stuff, but I don't think I ever actually have. So this is a first, chat. This is a first. Going down, I'm pretty sure we can do it on here.
Welcome.
Shopkeepers are sort of interactable, sort of not. So
There
the
it
cargo
is.
shop,
Right
can
out
we
of town.
sell anything? From the Vulture? No, it has nothing there. Cool. Okie dokie. So if it wasn't in the cargo centre... Which again, there's a lot of space in this place for NPCs and the like to roam. And I assume that there will be expansion for bits and pieces for interaction at a later date. There's been rumours, there's been murmurings about what's supposed to be coming, what's supposed to be interactive, what we can and can't do, which areas will be opened up, what they're meant to what they're meant to like contain and deal with. A lot of it at the moment is just very pretty furniture, I guess you could call it, which, you know, it's not always so bad. Oh, poor guy, you've been trapped. That's a shame. With your wiggly foot. Funny stuff. Everyone likes to play with these things. You're not scared of the tractor beam, are you? No, not that I can activate it in here, because I am now fully in an armistice zone. So we can't muck around with... Okay, so that's not going to play. That elevator's bossed. How about this one? Oh, don't tell me that I've got stuck here now. Oh no, there we go. Cool. Thank God. Yep, that's another glitch. It's another reason I constantly click until the damn thing arrives and opens up. It's because the elevators can get stuck occasionally and not respond properly. So, which can obviously be a little bit annoying, a little bit off-putting to you and to the flow of your gameplay. But that's not what we're here for today. So, we've done what we can there. Let's
to the ASOP
let's
vehicle
put
retrieval
the
system.
Vulture away.
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval
Ooh, what's the Origin X1?
Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Origin X1. Interesting. I have a new ship that I haven't had before. It's a transport ship.
That is an invalid request. You're
Please
visit
unable...
us again.
Okay.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
You're a transport ship that I can't retrieve here. That must mean that it's too big for this station. And if that's the case, that's the first time I have had that particular instance come up for me. Because I don't have ships that aren't too big to be places, because I haven't pumped thousands upon thousands of pounds into buying ships for a game to then just complain about it, I guess. Just why my experience seems to be vastly different than a lot of people who have backed the game. I'm not knocking people who have backed it, by all means do so. It's made this incredible game, but you can't then expect everyone that's on the dev team to give in to the demands because you're not getting the toy you wanted. Which is why I have an issue with some of the community on their forums, with the way that they're talking about the dev team and CIG and RSI in general. and even some biased people like streamers and such. Like, don't get me wrong, like, there are issues with the game. There are issues with the game engine. There are issues here and there, glitches and bugs that, you know, if it was a commercially released game, would be seen as unacceptable. But that doesn't mean that it's not playable. It doesn't mean that it's like it's not got stuff in it that you can do right now. It does feel a little empty at times, even on a full server. Not that you want to play on, just be capped at 100 players. But I've noticed that once you go into that 90 out of 100 player range, and you specifically get past 94 or 95 out of that 100 player range, the server that you're playing on starts to struggle. Which I think is fine and fair enough. We're getting scanned with...
Attention.
Yep, there we
Please
go.
come to an immediate halt and hold for your vessel to be scanned.
Yes, dude. We already are stationary. We haven't even left the hangar yet. But yeah, the actual resources to run this game for a localization is pretty intense. It's going to be for every person involved, so that's 100 people, we'll call it the max, and then the server has to deal with all 100 of those people and its own resources to divvy up for this persistent universe. So, you know, it's pretty intensive all round. And, you know, we're getting into a point where it's uncharted territory for the kind of engineering feat that's happening with the technology and the hardware available. So of course there are going to be some bugs. Of course there are going to be some issues. I don't think it's fair that people who don't even code are expecting a fully polished, immediate AAA title from an alpha version of a game. I think that's quite ridiculous. But it's usually the ones that have pumped money into it, chip that is so unbelievably expensive that you can't use or isn't even in the game yet, or so on and so forth. You might want to back it, that's fine, but if you can't then complain about the rewards that you aren't getting when you have literally acknowledged that it's an alpha game, it's what you've signed up for and prescribed for, and therefore, like, it's a difficult one, because you want to let them know in a constructive way what you're unhappy about. That's fine. But I'm pretty sure of all the people to know what you're vastly unhappy about, it's the dev team that are working on and building this game, right?
Attention. I have been authorized to scan your vehicle for
You've
security
already
purposes.
scanned it, unless you're a
Please
different
hold your vehicle
scanner.
on standby.
I mean, really, dude? I mean, I love that you're, you know, thorough. I am stationary. Okay. So yeah, here's the cutter in the same Luminalia, blue and white. Doesn't that look sexy as fuck? I mean, come on. It's so good. Oh, this ship can VTOL as well. I mean, oh, doesn't matter which angle you go for, it looks incredible, right? And there's my little guy in the ship. Beautiful, beautiful. It'd be nice to have an auto center function for the camera after a mouse look in free mode, but beggars can't be choosers, right? And to be fair, I'm still not that fucking bothered. Right, let's get the fudge out of Raj. Oh yeah, I need to take the rotation lock off, which is right shift, and we're going to pick up the package. We can do these Ling package deliveries from yesterday. See the head swoop, or the head look that's automatic from that swing. I would very much like to be able to get that resolved where it's a lot faster on its return. I don't mind the automation behind it, don't get me wrong. I think that's really good, I think it's really useful. But because I don't have a head tracker myself, I think it would be nice to know exactly which one of these in-game functions in the options it is, because like head tracking, I assume it's in general. We don't have a source. Head tracking general toggle enables is off. No. Use position offsets in the cockpit. Yeah, that's probably the one. And the auto recalibrate. Yes. Smoothing position. I assume that's probably part of the what's it. But I don't have the speed of it, I don't think. See, there's no real slider to speed it up, right? And if it is, it's probably in the over the faceware. Yeah. Which the faceware is a device, and the Toby is a device. Yeah. I mean, I haven't turned around and played with these for sure. I mean, I might do actually. Let's bring that down to 50. I mean, I assume it's not really going to make much difference. And if I reset, yeah, I suppose I could reset them. Let's. I mean, the sensitivity to it. Let's knock that down. Let's make them half of what they're supposed to be. Half the one above it. Anyway. The dead zone for the yaw is 10. Pitch is 10. Let's halve them. All I want to do is just make it a little bit faster in response, right? That's all I want to do. Because I think for me personally it's just a bit too slow. Let's just halve it all. Oh, we'll leave that one there. Input scale of 11. Yeah, let's halve them too. Let's just halve these last ones, shall we? Input scale. It was on 11. We'll make it 5. There we go. I don't think it's going to make much difference at all. Let's make these 11, shall we? Let's see what that does. Let's see if that makes it any faster. And then the quickest way to test it is just to maybe not. Okay. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I can. Oh, I have to do some view on it later to see what the head tracking is, the auto head tracking when you haven't got a head tracker enabled on IR, because I don't have an IR device, and see what it is to speed up that little reticle to get the return of the head tracking. I mean, that looks faster, doesn't it? Oh, it did for a second. Spin this craft wildly out of control. Oh, yeah, no, that's better. Well, whatever I've managed to do, he's returning his head to centre much faster than he did before. And that's while I'm at full speed. Yeah, it's definitely happening faster. Still not quite fast enough, though. And the only reason I want that is because it is what keeps you centred to your centre reticle when you're you know, flying and stuff. So it would be handy to know what that is without needing to have that, that general AI, I suppose. Anyway, let's go pick up this package and see what's in store for us while we do these Ling family local delivery routes. So it seems like these are nice little comfortable missions. Good for the beginners who want to get into Star Citizen and obviously learn the game, the dynamics, the system itself, you know, where to go, where things are, etc. Let's hit V. Oh no, we'll hold V and then let go. That's our little sonar ping. Maybe coming in quite a fair bit fast. Let's rectify that and get our speed down quite some way. You're not going to end up slamming into the floor. In fact, I'm just going to very quickly, I do think I have done it, but just in case, let's reset all of those back to what they were, just in case I've got it wrong. Oh, into closed atmosphere, and we need some. There we are. Right, so we will hit the K. And there we are, we've landed. So off. I do believe actually, if the engines are on. Is it T? I think. No, it might be L. No, it's not L. Well, you know what, we'll leave the light on. We hit the Y key, that gets us out to sea. There we go. Beautiful. Good old. These doors are taking a while to open in the cutter. Maybe it's an issue with the cutter itself. Open the door. Oh, I love scenes like this. They really do. Make you feel like you're going to like LV-426. If anyone's seen or watched Aliens, or Alien, in fact, the planet they go to in Alien, where they see the engineer ship, is actually LV-426. It's in the second film, where they build Hadley's Hope, of which these little modules and stuff all look very similar to the kind of build design to that particular world. I do have to say, I noticed that I like that the devs have borrowed from a lot of the sci-fi franchises out there for their inspiration, for absolute certainty. In fact, some ships you can tell which franchises they've come from. Not that that's a bad thing, I think that's really inspired just enough of each individual IP, or they've taken enough inspiration to colour and frame some things, but not enough to obviously fuck with copyrights and stuff. Let's place that there. You're in that cargo hold. Beautiful. We can't do that with this one. We actually have to press the door button. click, and that's us done for that one. Open my door then. And we've got some slow doors again today, and specifically with the cutter. Again, not game breaking, but definitely a little glitchy, buggy in places, particularly with things like that, which obviously isn't ideal when you're trying to do things a little on the quicker side or a little hastily. Whoa, excuse me. Gulp full of oxygen. Come on. But yes, it can be a little bit. I don't want to say tiresome, but it can be a little bit of a drag when you come across it at times. Again, it's not to say it's bad, but it doesn't help when you just want to crack on and play, which makes this game seem more grindy than it is. Okay, but again, it's not terrible. It could be a hell of a lot worse. Okay, so we've got that Flanagan's Ravine Aid Shelter. Okay, so let's assume that that's also on yellow. But it's on the Tunnerain Deacons. We're at the Aston. No, it's not. So it has to be on either Daymore or Selin. I'm going to say it's on Selin. Ah, there we go. There it is. Flanagan's Aid Raid Centre. Yeah, aid shelter. Brilliant. So we'll set the route to the aid shelter. It's not going to let us. Okay. So maybe these box missions are there we have it. Are a little bit bugged. But again, it could just be because I'm on the surface, and we know that some routes don't like you to be in landed mode to be able to set route and work properly. So let's do that now. Let's see if that's the case. And we click this up. We click Flanagan's set route. No, still doesn't want to know. So we've got to do this one manually. Okay, that's fine. We can do it manually. Not a problem. It's moments like this that you get to realise that, okay, maybe, just maybe, I need to get good at this game on a level that's unparalleled with anything else, because obviously maps and stuff work. See, I can go to Crusader, that's fine. Will you not let me get to Selin? Ah, now you'll let me get to Selin, so it must have been because I'm not above a certain distance of the atmosphere to be able to... There we go. Now it's setting it. Okay, yeah, because I'm now 2,000 meters above the surface. So, okay, there are different layered stages of bug when it comes to setting routes and maps. Sometimes you can get away with being in a cargo, in a landing bay or on a landing pad at a station, and it will let you set it and it will work fine. Other locations, like what we just experienced there, it didn't want to know, which, you know, is a little bit odd, but I suppose it also kind of ties into maybe it's not actually a bug, maybe it's designed that way because you have to be a certain way above on a map for it to release you from the location for your map system to then work properly, as it would do if you were a starship, I suppose. You know, like, not everything is going to be, oh, do a map and get a waypoint there, and this is extreme space sim survival, for sure. It's going to be extreme space sim survival, for sure, because that's what sets it apart from other survival games, I guess, or other space sims. This game is for unparalleled detail to the point where it almost fucking hurts. Which, personally, I love. I think that's fantastic that they've gone to the extreme length of putting this much detail in. You know, persistent universe, everything is different. Right? in some way. It's not just copy and paste bullshit. So good on the dev team. However, that was also the caveat as to why there are some glitchy, buggy stuff going on, and why it's hard to chase down the code that causes it to either load in the wrong way, to memory leak out and cause issues on the server, or, you know, for it to not be fully optimized when it comes to okay, cool, we're quantum traveling. Oh yes, we are traveling further. And obviously that's what makes it difficult for them to find the bugs and the issues and such. So, you know, it swings and roundabouts, ladies and gents. Swings and roundabouts, chat. That's just part and parcel of the love of this game, for me anyway. And like I said, the stuff that I encounter is no different to, you know, pre 2010 type PC game bugs for games, because of the hardware and the kind of coding principles that we were dealing with back in the day. And personally, from my experience in having the chat with Mr. Dawkins, who built and coded the Starfab extraction tools that's on the RSI website, and what he informed me in our very short exchange about how the extraction and compression principles of this game work, from what I can ascertain from what the devs have then turned around and mentioned in their Q&As, I don't actually think it's issues with their design or their building. I think it's issue with their compilation tools. I think their compiler tools are where they've actually got the issue, because they've obviously built this game to work in a certain way, to load in a certain manner, and it's actually the layering of individual assets and where they appear in the instruction chain that it appears to have the issues, where when they patch from patch to patch, or they hotfix as they go, it introduces more problems sometimes than it fixes. Now again, that's not to say that it's necessarily bad, that it doesn't do the job as intended. It just means that somewhere down the line the code is getting conflated and obstructed from doing its actual if and returns, boolean loops, etc. In what it's meant to do when it's meant to call it. And I can't imagine that just because you've got a ridiculous amount of assets that's what's causing the issue per se. Oh, didn't get the landing gear out. It suggests that, having had some C++, C hash coding experience, when you're using compilers, it suggests that it's actually the compilation and the compiler at fault, or the compiler tools that they've built for this game are at fault, and aren't. I can't remember if it's the screening that they do to make sure everything's in order, or whether it's the cleanup that they do that's sort of post-processing before it chucks out, here's your executable with how this game works from all these different files. Because to me, it appears that there is a misinterpretation between when the files come out of the P4K or get accessed in the P4K. Obviously, the tree locale, the actual location for the asset, is logged in a manifest file. And when the game specifically asks that manifest file to find that object file and ask to load it in the right order, in the right manner, that's where it will go to do so, and then anything that's associated with that particular object then either doesn't necessarily load in the right manner, or it loads all of them in a manner to work, but it isn't the intended way. So like we were saying yesterday with the textures, with texture settings and stuff, with 3D models, you want the wireframe to load first, then you tell the location of where it needs to be placed, and then when you've done that, you've got your surface and the plane to work with to then load a texture onto. You then load on the texture, or load in the texture. You then give it the instructions of how to how that texture behaves with the wireframe model. So that'll be things like how it wraps around, how many times it wraps around. Does it apply a particular filter to it? Does it apply a certain light source technique, or does it need to look for one, which is another asset, the light sourcing, etc, etc. If any of those parameters are out of sync, out of order, you end up having those strange effects. Like, you don't want the lighting effect for a texture to be lighting the module, the component, the wireframe, before the texture gets loaded onto it and wrapped around it, because then you've got the light source sandwiched between the two layers. You want the light source to be reflecting off the texture to give it this lighted textured look, rather than underneath, which would then make the model bright, and then the texture is being lit from underneath and then through, which can give some of these weird graphical glitches and artifacts that you find in games, right? And that alone can then impact the next layer, especially when it's linked to another object that relies on that particular thing being in the right position at the right loading point, right? Which, again, I can't imagine coders have done that stuff in the wrong order when they've designed and built most of these objects, because most of these objects work. So the instruction set and the layering tools that are being used in the compiler is going through and doing it line by line, but clearly is checking that those loops in that chain work, and it's clearly misconstruing some of that's being generated by the game engine of how it's meant to load these assets and in which order, and when it compiles them, it's compiling them out of order with what it's supposed to, so the manifest doesn't necessarily link up when it's being asked with what the compilation of the exe is telling it to. Games that I used to play around the same time period, when games were very heavily modified, you know, great examples are like Unreal Tournament for map creation. That was a big issue in generating the map in their own editor that they gave you with their Unreal Tournament, right? You could make a map perfectly fine. You could even see it when you altered one of their original maps. You'd alter the map, you'd change the layout, even if it was a flat map, right? You'd alter some of the layout and maneuver some of the objects, but because they were inextricably linked by certain texture layers, certain lighting effects and stuff, when you moved one, the other changed. So when you compiled and then ran it in the game for testing, you could see the effect that it would have that was causing these glitches, and it took a little bit of back engineering and go, well, which step caused this particular point to like not resolve properly before I compiled and saved this map to then run in the game. And it's because it didn't, even though you built the map correctly, the layering wasn't in the right place, so that when the game engine uses those set of assets and then looks at the file and goes, oh, menu, here's my menu, I need to do it in this, it's going to cost me this in resources, and this is the plate of dinner I get. You know, you can have a roast dinner, but that roast dinner could turn around and be like in the form of like a bangers and mash, where it's all in one fucking thing and inside your Yorkshire pudding, or you can have each separate component laid out how you're supposed to and then just lashings of gravy over the top, you know. And that's where I think these issues are arising. I don't think it's what they're doing in the game engine. I don't think it's what they're building with their build tools or their mechanical tools. I think it's issues with their compilation tools, their compiler, that obviously it's generating the stuff and saying, yeah, good, fantastic, stick it in the game, and they stick it in the game and then a load of stuff breaks. It's like, well, why is it broken? It's not meant to do that. Like, yeah, but at the same time, it's because clearly there's an issue with the coding for the compiler that's checking and coming back with the report that it's good, and it's not. It's got issues. What? That's the drop-off package. Why have I got a... Oh, because I'm an idiot. I'm a tool. I'm a silly idiot. I forgot. We bought a box with us, didn't we? So, I need to... There's the box. This is the new one, right? I'm pretty sure that's the new one. If not, I've just taken some medical supplies for no reason. And I think that's the case. too busy yapping explaining this concept when I didn't. I needed to. Let's do the good thing. Let's come on. Oh, low gravity. Well, I've just been stealing some medical supplies that I probably shouldn't have stolen. I should never have touched. Cycle that, depressurize. Let's get in here. Place. See how that's supposed to be nice and smooth. And it doesn't quite like it. Look at that. And then it'll fit. So there, you can see there are some tiny little issues. Some things are a little funny. Don't be put off. Please don't be put off. This is a fabulous game. It deserves to be played. It deserves to be checked out. Anyone who is worried about joining in the game or outsetting the price, the cost, whatever, feel free to come and have a chat in the Discord. Come and have a chat in my chat here, and ask questions. You will find, by and large, like, even though yesterday's stream was a bit of a hot take on my personal experience with the guys in that particular server, I will say, for all of the negatives that have happened in the past week, they were a damn good source of information. They have been playing this game for 10, 15 years, since nearly the beginning, for a few of them, and they have seen it through its early stages. By and large, the community, that even though they are whiners, complainers, you know, the community seems toxic. Like, you get this everywhere in most gaming places anyway, in most forums. I just think that the stuff that's being bitched and moaned about in the forums that are on the RSI's own website are off-putting, and they shouldn't be, because people knew what they signed up for and still sign up for. And I'm sorry, but the designer's going for perfection, and for someone with bipolar OCD and PTSD, I know that perfection don't bloody exist, so sometimes good is good enough. In this case though, good could be good enough, but they're so far past that point that you've got to aim for perfection now, because there's no end game if you don't, right? So, but yeah, the information that was passed on to me by those guys has been invaluable. It taught me a fair few things about this game, and my transferable skill set from other things that I know, that I'm interested in, that I've learned over the years, that I went to college for, that I went to university for, with regards to like atmospherics, with regards to music, with regards to computer coding, with regards to tech stuff, you know, that works. It's all been transferable into this game, and I'm excited by this game and the engineering. I'm excited by the thematics, by where the dev team are going. I do genuinely believe it'll be a moddable game by a community at large, for those who can be bothered, although it will take some technical skills to do so, because just trying to get access to the assets to this game was quite long-winded, even with the comprehensive instructions, and talking to the guy who made the bloody tools to do so, in explaining, one, how they worked, two, how the game P4K file works, how it interacts with hardware nowadays compared to my old hat information from a couple of years ago, and how things have been moved on, and what's also being achieved by the devs and where they're planning on going, from him designing those tools in the first place for people to look at the assets, just to see the complex nature of every component of the game. It's a long list, it's diabolically insane, but someone's got to do it, right? And these guys have taken it upon themselves to be the guys that do it. All props to them, I will say that, because why the damn hell not? So yeah, don't be put off. Come ask questions, because it's better to go into wanting to find out as much as you can and research, when it comes to game, before getting into something that, you know, not everyone these days has 30-40 quid for a game package or for a download. Not everyone has, you know, a good a good PC to play games like this on, where, you know, you need to find this stuff out before you invest in something, or if you're going to plan to upgrade your hardware and PC to play new games that are going to be coming out, like this bad boy, or others that are on the scene. You're always better to be informed, because it is turning into, in the gaming culture, an investment. It's no longer, oh, I can just go in to a shop, pick it up off the shelf, it's going to work at home. No, 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 no. We've well advanced past that. And a game of this caliber certainly shows it, for sure. With all the hard work that's been put in and involved. So, yes, I'd say don't be put off. Get as much information as you can, research the game, and try to ignore a lot of the toxic comments online about it. Go for slightly more informed comments from people who are actually being critical but constructive in their criticism. There are fuckloads of pros about this game. There are some cons, and each person's bias is going to be different when it comes to making that decision. Like I say, I'm hoping to show you just my personal opinion on this beautiful game. I will say, I am biased in that it ticks all the boxes for me of what I want from a space game, plus it's come from a game I used to play way back in the early 2000s when it was released, Freelancer, that Chris Roberts also wrote. He also wrote Wing Commander, the series. But yeah, Freelancer was my space game, because at the time it was the closest I could get to Elite that I used to play on the Amstrad. It was the closest version of it for the graphics at the time, until Elite Dangerous came along, obviously, and shut me up on console, which I also have. But that, as good as that is, for all of its elements, this is where it's at for me. That's not to say I don't like Elite. I love it. I just don't play it anywhere near enough at all, if at all, because this thing's on the scene and available. So yeah, just letting you guys know that for me, this is the game, this is where it's at, this is what it should be about. And yeah, just make an informed decision before investing in a new computer or new hardware upgrades to be able to play games like this, or to be able to invest in game package and starting your journey into Star Citizen, because it truly is a different beast and animal altogether. It really is. I cannot stress that enough. That's not to say that it's difficult, it's just it's a lot to take in. There's a lot of things to take in when it comes to this game. Okay, that was different. I was doing side to side head bob as I hold space to be able to veto off the surface. That took a while to accept, so let's left bracket that. Now we've got our location. Cool. So we've still got box missions that take a little while to come in after accepting them. I mean, that's still not that bad. It could be worse. Worst? It could be worse, sorry. We weren't even in VTOL, that's terrible. Now, do I wanna... Yeah, roll QT to it. This is gonna look weird. And lock. Do as much on auto as possible, because as much fun as it is to fly, I do want to just crack on with some of these box missions today, so that we can earn some simple monies and show that you can do localized solo play stuff to get yourself up and off the ground, you know. So that once you've got the game package, it's not, oh, I've got to now invest like a couple £100 on it in their shop for another ship to do stuff. It's like, no, there is stuff you can do in game that will earn you credits to buy armor, to buy weapons, to buy backpacks, to get consumables to be able to survive, and to work your way up and grind into being a spacefaring freelance citizen that can hold their own, earn some cash, and then buy ships in game. Okay. Whilst learning the game as well, which is what I intend to do and what I intend to show. It's what this stream will be about. We'll start off with the basics in delivery. Right, yes, okay, I'm doing this in the cutter. I bought this with in-game credits that my IRL friend that I was playing this with lent me some of his in-game credits that I paid back on a couple of reclaimer missions, which is just oversized salvage basically. So I'd have something different other than just that first game package, right? So what I intended to do with the Titan, in fact I'll go back to the Titan I think after this one. We'll do it in just the Titan. We'll work our way up, even though I've got the credits, credit balance 1.75 mil. That's not actually a lot in this game for most ships, but yes, we'll do a couple of these box missions, and we'll play the game, or I'll do this live playthrough of me playing in that Titan to get up to certain points to be able to buy other ships, and I'll get those other ships if they interest or whatever, and then we'll go from there. So it'll be like hopefully a beginner's guide introduction to Star Citizen, and you know, a journey you could go about making yourself enough money to survive in this game without having to buy a shed load of ships and put in a load of real money, you know. Because I think that's what puts off a lot of people as well, is the amount of money stuff is, not just in the game, but also in the shop itself, to have to... let's just land down here. To be able to have to... or it looks like that's what... oh. Well, that came down really fast. didn't even hit down. But yeah, it seems really off-putting to a lot of people, and I think that's because of the price that's involved when it comes to this game. That's quite a slide I've got going on there. Oh, I didn't turn that shit off either. It's because I'm in decoupled mode as well, isn't it? Yeah. That's the other thing that I turned. That is one option in this that I have turned off. Oh, turned off? That's one keybind I have resolved, is the decoupled mode. Not fantastic landing. I'm not paying attention. That's my bad. So I apologise for that, chat. I apologise for that, viewers. I am usually smoother in this game. So let's get to it. Riari Ink Outpost. Hang on a minute. Yeah, that is the package I want. This is a much bigger outpost, so this one actually has landing pads, which generally means that if it's got a landing pad, you can usually repair, restock, refuel your ship. I say restock, you know, if it's got weaponry like missiles or Gatling gun bullets, you know, whatever it might have on it. I mean, most lasers and stuff work off your ship's power source and the coolers, as to how much ammo you have, but there are some that have actual bullets, and you have a finite amount of them, and it's not something you can necessarily increase either, because of how payloads are in this game, or how the weapons stock in this game. So, you know, places like this, you can, that's a pad I can land at, where so long as I'm on that pad, I can probably repair and restock and refuel the ship. And then the other side, I noticed there were numbered pads, and those numbered pads usually entail, I'm not going to be able to jump that, nope, damn. Those other pads usually entail that one of these other buildings will mean you can go to them and you'll be able to get out a secondary vehicle, i.e. the hover bikes, or maybe an APC or whatever. And in doing that, let's close that. Yeah, brilliant. Let's go just sit in the cockpit for a second. Let's see if I can turn around and repair and restock and refuel. Come on, into the pilot seat. It's brilliant if we can, because after that really crappy landing, I probably need to. Vehicle maintenance. No, we can't. Okay, so this isn't somewhere that I could. I don't think. But we'll see, because what we'll do is we'll switch it on. We'll take off, and we'll move over to... It may be that landing pad, because it's bigger. I'm pretty sure... These P's have parking on. So let's assume that we can park on these bad boys, right? It's no, there you go. I mean, I'm obstructing a parking area, and because of that, I'm going to get impounded. So that's not good. So let's get the hell out of that area. Okay. So how about we try this one? Right. Oh, for God's sake. That's because I'm in decouple mode again. Maybe I need to take that off tab. So decouple mode means that you don't have control over the inertia. You've taken the inertial dampeners off, which means that, as you saw, once you let go of your thrust in a direction, it just keeps going that direction. Like true space travel. You know, you have to then recompensate for the direction of travel. Which I haven't yet got around to using. There we go. Now we're on a landing pad. Wow! 3,716 credits of damage. So, I'm going to repair that, but it does mean that the previous box mission and some spare change from last night's missions have just turned around and been used on the repair, if it repairs it. It better repair it. I think that's going to repair it. No, it's not. Brilliant. Cool. We'll classify that as repaired though. I didn't have any marks or anything on it, so it's not too terrible. It could be worse. Anyway. It wants me to go to... And it's not going to tell me where it's going to want me to go because I haven't taken off yet. Even though it should. Coudray Ore. That's fine. We can go to Coudray Ore. Leaving the armistice zone. So the safety zone's being left. Fantastic. Let's get up there, shall we? And then we're going to... it's Coudray Ore on yellow. I think it isn't, is it? No, okay. It's got to be on selling. Or maybe it isn't. It's not on selling. So, that means it must be on Daymar. There it is, Coudray Ore. Independent mining facility. Set. There we go. Right. So now we're going to do a distance run. Cool. Let's go. Let's get the hell out of here. Alt-C is cruise control. Yeah, it's cruise control. It's fabulous. and switch on B for quantum travel. Let's take the landing gear off and out. Yep, that's up, so thank God for that. And we want quantum travel. Gets to OM2, jumps out. We've got to go next. There's the next one. Beautiful. Locked and loaded. Let's crack on. To Daymar we go. And boop. Here we are. Now, before we get too close, yes, we should be able to, hopefully, QT to this. Third waypoint. Auto rolls us to come into planet and moon's atmosphere properly. Oh yeah, that's not so bad. It's what they would do in real terms, I suppose. That's the effect of what we were meant to do. Look at this. You can see all the texture of the surface of the place as well, and then when you get in, it's actually the real deal. I mean, look at that. Absolutely incredible, right? Let's boost up to a casual 350. Yeah, casual 350. Now, we might not be able to quantum travel, but a tip here is, even though you get a marker for most places, I keep the quantum travel on because you get the distance. And you can see how quick or slow you are counting down to said place. I mean, look at this landscape. Look at it. Absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. You can see why having to render these types of surfaces in real time in a persistent universe, both locally and on a server, causes a great strain on resources. Let's slow this down. Let's keep it going. Oh yes, left shift and X is your reverse thrust at full thrust. That's obstructed, is it? Oh, tough. Because now I'm here. Oh, my hero. I am here! Good old All Might. Gotta love a bit of the All Might. Oh, well, that was clearly one of the posts. Yeah, oh, no, it's the whole station. Well, that fudged a little. I didn't judge that very well for the back end of my ship, did I? I thought it was coming into land past the what's it. I didn't even see this little arm on. Where's the entrance? I wanted to be between these. Again, not paying attention because I'm too busy chatting. I would say that chat wouldn't be so bad if I actually had people to chat with whilst playing this game, because then obviously other people would be doing the talking as well. So, you know, I mean, it's the way it is, I guess. But if you do play this game and you are watching this stream, please come and find me, either in the game with my gamer tag, add me as a friend. I don't use the in-game chat. I don't use the VoIP either in-game, where you can literally go up to a player and just through your mic activate, speak to them if they happen to be in the server. I prefer to do, you know, private DMs on Discord, talking here in Twitch chat. But I would actually like to meet up with other players of this game and play Star Citizen with people. We can just chat and have fun and showcase this brilliant, beautiful game to the world. You know, for noobs, rookies, amateurs alike, and grow the gaming community for this game. I mean, yes, it is an alpha. Yes, it can be a bit of an investment, both for your hardware and personally for your ship stock and what have you. But I think it's worth it. A lot of other players do. I think they're up to nearly 5.25 million players in the world so far, and that's, you know, a healthy number. But you've got to remember that we are basically testing. We are the testers for this game. They do have their own testers and their own testing force before it gets pumped to alpha, but it's not as big as people think, or expansive as people think. So we are it. But I do think in that case, the best thing to do is, if you want a long-term investment and a game you'll enjoy, come along and enjoy this gorgeous space game with us. And let's build the community and be at the start of something special. You know, I'm fully after that. I've gone into the place without the package. Again, oh, such a silly tool. Such a silly tool. What a fool, what a fool. Well, you know, I'm not as versed and experienced in playing the game and workflow as most. There we go. See how we had to smash that command a few times to be able to pick it up to activate the what's it. I think this might be the last delivery box mission before moving on to something else, perhaps, before it locks out and causes issues, because I do know that some box missions are bugged to a degree enough for them to cause problems permanently for your ship and stuff at the moment. Or in this case, deliver to this place. And where do I deliver it to? Where is the waypoint for where I'm meant to deliver it, huh? I assume it's meant to be in here somewhere, and I assume it's going to be somewhere around here, but it's not here, so either it's got to be either this shelf or this shelf. So let's no, there you go. That's how you do it. Sometimes you need to pick up and take part the what's it to get the waypoint back. Although it does look like I need to drop off the package literally on the floor here. That's not going to class it. I've got to go 4 meters underneath. It wants me to. That seems a little suspect. I assume that means I need to be outside to then drop down a ladder of some description to drop it off, right? Have the box that I'm meant to have. And this is a mining facility, no less. Either that or it's bugged. No, I need to be under here. Drop off the package just there. Well, you're where you want it to be, but apparently that doesn't count. I assume it needs to be on a shelf, but it won't let me put it on a shelf. Well, there you go, chat. There is a mission that we can't apparently complete. Obviously it's not meant to go there. It's supposed, the waypoint is supposed to be above, and you can see what I'm saying about there are certain things in this manifests list that don't quite add up when it comes to this game. Everything else is loaded fine. When it does load, it's okay, but certain things load in the wrong places, or they load in the wrong order, which causes these funny little glitches, and then obviously you can't complete certain missions, or they bug or whatever. And this is the reason why, in my opinion, is because there's an issue with the compilation tools that aren't putting this stuff in the right order and making sure that these loops work in a proper enough manner for it to working complete. So, you know, we'll see how this goes. I assume it needs to be in one of these then. So we'll place that. Let's place that. Where do we want it to be? There. There we go. And now it's asking me to put it somewhere else. Ah, it wants me to put it in that machine. See, so placing it somewhere that we would ordinarily put to get the waypoint can sometimes unlock where this thing is meant to actually go, right? Some packages need to be put on shelves. Some packages need to be in these machines. Please stand by. Cool. And then we place in here. Cool. And then delete it, process it, and then hopefully say it's complete. Yeah, there we go. Right. So the confusion there was because the waypoint wasn't in the right place, and where we've just done 2 box missions of placing on and off shelves, we now needed to actually put it in a fast and reliable Covalex like container machine, right? That pick up, drop off, right? So, but again, the glitch itself, we can try and force a workaround to be able to play the game to enough of a modicum that it either resolves itself because it loads another part of the asset and get it to place properly, and then that gives us the indication of where it's meant to go. It also means that we can then remember this for next time, or we have to have a workaround where, you know, it could be, okay, forget this mission, this specific one's a little broken and we might have to cancel the contract mission, because again, anything could have set it off. It could be that we might be in this ship, it might be the server that we're on isn't loading its manifest file properly to correlate with my manifest file properly, because of these loading discrepancies. It could be that just this mission is broken, like this individual singular mission is broken, and again, we won't know until we go through each one. So that's a little taste of these box missions. We've done what, 3 now? I think we should I think we should do this one. Go to the Daymar Cave. One of our long-standing clients, Brian Kane, was recently reported missing. Before we can determine the proper distribution of benefits, we need you to find confirmation of their current status. Our preliminary investigation team has learned that Kane had previously been conducting research at a cave on Daymar. It is our recommendation that you start your search there. The cave can only be accessed on foot. Okay, that's cool, that's fine. We'll go have a look and see what's what. I assume he's probably been killed either by pirates, or maybe his equipment failed and he's fallen to his death. I will say though, chat, just bear with me a second, I need to switch a light on and I need to get my drink, because man needs hydration, man is thirsty. Let's get a little bit of air in here. Oh, there we go. So now we've got a little bit of fluid inside us. Let's get down to the Daymar. What's it? We are at Coudray. and we need to go to Daymar Cave, which is over there. Let's go to the new waste managed site. Let's get the fudge out of Rudge. Let's get some speed up about us. There we go. And what's the height for this place, huh? To be able to QT. Got to exit atmosphere, that's fine. That's what I'm doing. There we go. And we're locked, so we can now QT round to that side of the planet, which we shall do. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, quantum travel effects are pretty good too. Light speed. Oh look, there's me. There's me. Look at that. Beautiful. I do love the background music in this game. I do wish the loop though was selectable. That would be something that is handy. Would be if we had the ability to squander up. If we had the ability to pick the track that plays in the background out of the selected music that is in this game, that would be really nice. Also, what would be really nice is if my field of view was actually where it's supposed to be. I mean, that's pretty good, but I do think it needs to be a little bit further back, to be honest. The field of view doesn't seem to be changing much today. Get it onto there. Is it because of the motion blur I turned on and off? Maybe. Let's change that. Yeah, that's a bit better. Oh, we are getting very close to the floor, and it's getting harder and harder to tell. Oh, because of the darkness. Let's hope we don't hit anything too much on the floor. Let's raise up. We're only 400 meters off the floor, actually. That's can be dangerous because sometimes a mountain can just sneak up on you in the darkness, and whoop, you just go into the side of it. Let's try and keep this level. Slow bit of travel over to here. Oh, see, there's a rocky ridge that can thing you want. Got some mineable pockets of gas, I suppose, and minerals. Appears to be the case. There we go. Cool. 13 kilometers to go. We're getting there, chat. We're getting there. To the Daymar Cave. Go see if we can find this Brian Kane, or Brian Kane, as he was spelt. Gotta love sci-fi names. Always gotta have, you know, an indifferent amount of of letters and such for these characters. Let's do a roll. Oh yeah, keeping it on the fucking straight and narrow. Such a good looking game. afterburn, or thrust, as it is in this game, obviously. Where are we? Oh, have we gone past it? I think we've gone past it. I think we have. I think we have. Let's do the about turn. I assume we must be somewhere around here then. There's not. Let's slow this down. So we seem to be missing the waypoint again. But I thought we had 13k to go, and we certainly weren't charging up on it that quick. So let's see where we are on the map. Let's double click into Daymar. Oh, has it decided to disappear? Haha, brilliant. Yeah, of course it would. Oh, and now it's just perfectly dark. Cool. Formation kind of looks like perhaps it's not too what do we have on this side? In midair. I would say that was probably that was probably the server I was on just catching up with itself, and apparently I've flown into some scenery. Ah dear. Well, that's the kind of thing that can happen. Yeah, look at that. Brilliant. I wasn't anywhere near any scenery. I'm still in midair, and apparently I died. Oh, lovely. Gotta love the old... there we go. Gotta love the old respawn. Luckily enough, though, I've put in a form of suit material to be able to just load out with the same armour I had on before, minus my backpack, obviously. So yeah, that's what we're going to do there. And we've still got the mission. Locate the missing person. So yeah, when you die, you generally tend to respawn in a hospital, a medical room, as per. Each of these have got slightly different designs. And you can set them as your waypoints, your spawn points, using this screen, right? So my primary residence is Orison, which is the big planet down below, and I've set it to the Kel-2 RX clinic. Now Kel-2 RX clinics are on all of the other remote station respawns, okay? That aren't primary residence facilities. So if you die in space battle, like I did, where you just explode for no reason, whatever. Don't think so, crazy guy. I don't have a 10-minute waiting time before a viewer can chat. It's 30 seconds, so you're clearly a bot. But yeah, I would say that... oh, person just spawned out of nowhere. Yeah, the best thing to do is find your favourite kind of place that's got your amenities and such, and then set that place to be your spawn point. Now we're back here. You can see I've got all of the stuff that I need. Oh, look at that. It spawned my backpack on me. Ha ha ha, how funny. It's just giving me all my shit back that I was carrying. Well, most of it, I think, because I'm actually... Not that that's a problem, because we'll just split one out, put it in, put it on two, there we go. Job's a good one. You do, mate. I won't be lying now, would I? If that was the case, you wouldn't have been able to turn around and type what you've just typed. And if I do have a 10-minute chat to the start of this, it's only because this channel is new and I haven't gone through all of the options and setting it up yet either. So, but welcome to the stream. Much appreciated. Well, what was I going to do? I'm being put off by too many things now.
Welcome to
Here we
the
go.
ASOP
Let's have a
vehicle
look.
retrieval system.
I want to know what that Origin X1 is. Destroyed through no fault of my own and for
Your
no reason.
insurance claim has
Now it's
been
going to
sent.
take 3 minutes and a bit to...
Thank you.
What's it? So let's expedite that. Let's just go
Vehicle
in...
select. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
I will look into it. If that's the case, then you're the first person who has mentioned it to me, so I will get on that after I've done this stream, because I can't exactly do
Please
it
visit
mid-stream.
us again.
But thanks for bringing it to my attention. Clearly it's an option I've not seen or I've missed in setting up the channel. But thanks for that. I will look into that and get that sorted. It sounds like it's a privacy setting or a security setting maybe, which might be to do with the fact that I've put this down as a mature channel just to cover me for any mention of you know, adult material. So much appreciated. Whoa, that's some serious lag. Let's have a look with the trusty console and see what the server FPS is doing. Server FPS, ooh yeah, we're in the 4s, the 3s and the 4s. That's not good. This is not a fantastic server. Well, if that's the case, we are probably best to just be in the Titan. And let's go locate this guy. Okay, missing person. Brian Kane. Wait a minute. What minute? Hang on to right. Take me to the hangar. Thank you. So, back into the ship that started it all. Again, this is the ship that was recommended to me, so I will, with a little bit of that personal bias from the advice I was giving, I would recommend it too, as a game package as it goes, because it's a quick, nimble ship. It's okay in dogfights. It's great when you upgrade it, when you can afford to. It's just a nice, quick, simple little ship to be able to sort of multitask and do a lot of the different things in the game. At least from my experience that I've found, which is why I will recommend it. Not just also because it was a recommendation to me when I started to get the game package, and obviously I got it while it was on discount in the store, but also to others. I don't think it's a bad choice. It's easy to get to grips, if I can talk. It's pretty simple. It's not bad at dogfighting, I'll give it that. It doesn't last very long because obviously the shields are a bit crappy on it, but as you can see, I've got a nice big massive Gatling gun on the front, which has only been a recent addition in the past couple of months. Now there are tools out there to be able to work out and upgrade ships or figure out what your best loadouts are for different situations and scenarios. One being the DPS calculator by Urkel, which is ERKUL, I think you spelled it, yeah. So you just type in Urkel, ERKUL, calculator into Google, you'll be able to then look up all the ships and hardpoint materials, components for ships in this game, and see what your, you know, potential best loadout is.
You are clear to launch.
But yeah, I do recommend this thing. This thing's quite fun to fly. I've been using this thing pretty exclusively until, again, recently, when I've been able to upgrade and earn enough cash to be able to... and in-game cash as well. This is the only ship that I've actually personally purchased with any real-life currency, because it's the only way to purchase the game. Everything else has been purchased with in-game currency on the grind, or by repaying by doing jobs for other people when I've played with them. So thank you to real life friend Faldo for that one. Right, we need to... Why is there a quantum beacon there? Huh. I don't think that's supposed to be there, because that wasn't what I was looking at. Yeah, we're supposed to be at the Daymar Cave, right? Oh, which is close to Jump Town. That might be why it's buggered a little bit. Jump Town's a little bit sketchy in this game. You want to avoid things that happen on Jump Town, or when things are ongoing in this game for Jump Town. I've been informed that that's when things get super sketchy, which clearly is the case. I'm not that far from it in that instance. First things first, though. Let's stick the cruise control on, and I guess go towards the quantum beacon, see what the quantum beacon wants, shall we? How much fuel is it going to take? 176. Okay, so we can get there and back. That's cool. Question I'm not too sure about though is it wants me to 1 of 1 to there, does it? Okay. It's at 0 and 5. Yeah, cool. Huh. Interesting. So we're gonna have to get as close as we can to it. And then quantum beacon too? Oh no. There we go. Quantum beacon it is. I wonder why it's all the way out here. Well, we'll go to the quantum beacon and see what it says. And go, yo! And then if nothing there within happens, I suppose wasted journey. I mean, we are trying to locate a missing person. And I'm pretty sure I got over to the cave and there was nothing there. I thought I had 13 kilometers to get to it, but I've either flown over it or it's blown up and killed me because something's going on that's potentially part of the mission. So we'll see. We will see. And the only way to see... Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. Look at the texture of this baby. This game is so pretty. That is one thing I will say about this game, that I think it trumps a lot of other games that are out there, if not all other games that are out there. It is unbelievably pretty and detailed. There's a lot of things that you see in this game you just don't get anywhere else. So let's see what it brings, shall we? Let's put that down there for now, trying to get a safe place to put it on the windowsill. Don't want none of these creepy crawly bugs getting into my drink. Not like the other night. So yeah, let's see what's at this travel point, shall we? And it's slowly following Slowly following to the quantum beacon. We're nearly halfway there. I mean, you guys probably can't see it because it's underneath my camera view insert, unfortunately. But in that top left, underneath is a part of the map screen that shows the fuel quantity value of how much fuel is left to QT in the ship that you're in, and the value of how much it's going to use to get to the next point. And then anytime you set a route, it gives you bars of the route jump point. So where it says 1 of 1, and then the fuel amount, the QF amount, quantum fuel amount next to it. If there's 3, 4, 5, 6 items in that list, there'll be bars. That will change to however many, whichever marker you're at, out of however many, and then give you how much fuel it takes to get to the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. You just got to keep an eye on your fuel. Oh, excuse me. Oh, okay. So now the beacon's disappeared. I wonder what's going on here. Let's get back to Daymar before that shit decides to... Again, this could be just one of those bugs in the game. It's occurring. Ripped off. Yeah, okay, that disappeared. That's useless. So let's jump out. Oh, we've got some artifacts on the screen. Brilliant. So there you go. I've got 1 of 2 points to get and jump to. So we'll jump back for 150. Hopefully the marker won't just suddenly appear on the map. That'll be a bit disgusting. Just end up suddenly with a marker appearing and disappearing again. Let's just double check. Look at all those warnings and notices of all the memory leaks in the game. Gotta love it. We're getting about 80 FPS, that's not too bad. And server FPS is still low, although it's stabilising between 2.5 and 5. That's not a good area to be in. Ideally you want server FPS to be 5 and above, with 5 being the lower. Anywhere up to 10 is good. Going past 10, any AI NPC stuff for like bunker missions and that starts to get difficult, and they start to, as others have mentioned, become John Wick or Neo if you like your Keanu Reeves references. I mean, who doesn't? That guy's awesome. But yeah, it does get pretty intense with the AI, where they start to just be so damn good it's impossible. It's kind of like facing in like your COD or Apex or whatever, any kind of like cheaters or stream snipers where they've got aimbots on, and maybe a little bit of a speed boost, where they don't necessarily need to 100% be looking directly at you with their crosshairs to shoot you and kill you. They just need to be pointing in roughly your direction, and you just need to sort of see them in your field of view, which is kind of dog shit. But again, it's an alpha game. There are tiny bugs like this, although I find it weird in some respects that the server's FPS refresh rate between the local install on your game, on your hardware, sorry, compared to the one that's on the server. I do find it a little bit odd that the faster than travel and upload bitrate speed that the server can refresh at is kind of like a multiplier in difficulty for how good the AI is. Now, whether that's just because it's tied into their response times, who knows? I assume that's the case. It doesn't mean that they're invincible by any means. It's not like you can't not kill them. It's just their reaction times suddenly end up being a lot faster. Their aiming is I wouldn't necessarily say better, but like I say, they don't necessarily have to aim at you to be able to hit you and kill you. where they're 100% dead on accurate. You know, there's some compensation issues there. And their AI, where they are smart enough to hide behind things and to pick their chances of when to reload or when to call their own backup. But there are points where sometimes it feels like they have an unfair advantage. That's all I'll say. And that's, you know, in the 10 to 15 range when it comes to server FPS. For sure, it starts to become a little bit difficult. Now, that's okay when there is no difficulty rating in this game. But again, seems a little bit odd to me that it's tied to the server's FPS refresh rate for the whole game, and it applies to everyone in this persistent universe version on this server. So it's not like you're the only one that experiences it. Everyone does that's on the server when it happens. That's fine, at least things are still equal and even. I suppose it kind of pushes you to need to have to team up with people to do certain things and certain bunker runs, because they do become impossible. But because it so wildly fluctuates at the moment being an alpha, it does make it a little bit unpredictable in what you might find. So sometimes for some missions you do need to use the console command a little bit more, just to be able to sort of get an idea of what you're going to expect before encountering those things. Oh my god, why am I yawning so much? I'm not tired, for fuck's sake. Oh dear, okay. So we've got to Crusader, and I actually need to get to Seraphim because I'm nearly out of fuel after doing that jump. So I need to, yeah. Quantum jump to OM3. Oh, another player disappeared. Damn. I've got to go OM5 when I'm going to... It put me at OM3 to actually like how it tries to auto-orientate you. Oh, again, very scary, but I love that atmospheric. You can blitz through the surface of it just to... It's part of the QT. Not that you have any... Not that we have too much say in when it happens. Oh. There we go, Seraphim it is. Brilliant. Let's get ourselves right up close and personal, because we need to land. So yeah, by taking the QT off, obviously you don't get the marker for how close you are. So it pays to have it on until you get within the range you're after, which is 10k, and then stand that. That's it, there we go.
Hello, and thank you for contacting EDL Landing Assist.
I think I'm underneath it because I don't see the red lights, they're yellows.
Thank you, and please visit
Yeah,
again.
blue signs on the top. So that's a good marker.
Proximity alert. Dead. Landing gear deployed. Proximity alert. Dead.
Oh, that was a much smoother landing.
Landing complete.
Apart from the very, very, very end there. Damn. Could have been worse. Right, turn that off. Oh. I don't need to turn it off, I just need to refuel. I'm not getting out. I'm so used to every time I land at Seraphim Station, I just get out of the bloody thing. There we go. We need to go to here. I didn't cause any damage when I landed, so I don't need to repair. Fantastic. Right, let's get the quantum fuel refueled. TikTok processing, shouldn't take this long. As boring as it is to stay on this screen, I think it's worth staying on the screen until it completes, because if you do, and you don't have a chance of it messing up, but I don't think it's not gonna refresh to say that it's refueled, is it? Another way to check is to see the current fuel. No, so it's not done it there. So now we need to go back to the vehicle maintenance page. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's still processing. Yeah, see. Well, I've got the feeling I'm not going to be able to refuel my ship. No. Okay.
1,400 DPI.
Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Let's do that and do it the old-fashioned way and go to buy. No, there you go. See, so I can't even do it that way. And that's the bug. Okay, so we've encountered a few bugs tonight. Simple ones, but some that are a little bit which is a little bit of an ass. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break there and just rest myself up, get my drink inside me. I will check with Crazy Guy's message that there's a 10-minute wait to send on chat on this channel. That's obviously an issue that needs resolving. I will go and resolve whatever privacy or security issue that is. So thank you very much for highlighting that, much appreciated. Whilst I'm on break, if you'd like to like, share, follow, subscribe to my YouTube page, the Twitch page here that you're obviously watching this on, unless you're watching it on the YouTube page, which is obviously after it occurred, so this was live. It's obviously not if you're watching it on YouTube. And check out the links on my Discord page, or you can catch me on the Instagram link that's over there. It'd be very much appreciated. Just get a little community going of people that play Star Citizen. I will be looking to branch out into other games. I do have Minecraft and all that sort of thing, but I think that's been played to death. Not by me personally. I missed the trend because I'm the kind of person that doesn't usually hit trends when they come out and so on and so forth, because so many people go on about them that it just puts me off entirely. So I then tend to be put off certain things, because it ruins the enjoyment and the experience of me discovering it for myself, you know, within that first year or so. So yeah, I never really got on the Minecraft trend, and I only got into it with this PC, and I've still not touched it because Star Citizen itself has taken. You know, like, share, subscribe, follow all my channels, and I'm gonna take a bit of a break and hopefully jump back on, say 15-20 minutes perhaps, and we'll go from there. So let's call it. And I will catch you very, very shortly. are coming back from the break. Back to streaming Star Citizen Live. Got some cracking tunes on this channel, right? Just let that play out a little bit. What a tune, absolutely love it. Right, so here we are, let's get back to it, shall we? Which is this bad boy right here. Get right to it, and we need to get back to where we are with this. So during the break I did have to reload the game. I changed server, just for those who are interested, mainly because I was starting to get some server frame rate drop towards the end of that, which never really helps when it comes to the glitches and bugs that occur in this game, at least in my experience. That's definitely one of the main precursors to it. Occasionally the FPS through the server will also lock up, and when it does and doesn't return, it will just boot everyone on that server out of the game because the server crashes. It does crash and then reload, and obviously gives itself a chance to allow resource to allow itself to become another persistent universe for other people to run again. But the instance is then obviously destroyed while it resets. So you know, it becomes a game of cat and mouse at times, and there are specific signs that show that it's about to happen. And the bugging of certain missions, or when people use these medical gown boxes to stack perpetually in places like this and bug other players and stuff out, that can cause it, because they're objects that aren't supposed to have multiple instances in one place. They are supposed to be utilized in a couple of areas and then ditched and move on, or I think they're supposed to just be put in your inventory and kept, but obviously you can't, I don't think you can sell them anywhere. I can't say I've tried. But there are some instances of some objects that aren't meant to be multiply placed in various places in this game, because that they also cause issues for each individual persistent player. The models, the assets, etc. They interact in a little bit of a weird way. Again, it's all down to this loaded layering process that causes these memory issues, and I think, like I've said before, it's down to the compilation of the assets for the game engine to use. I think it's the compiler tools that are a little bit janky. So I've jumped server, reloaded. I'm now back to here. Let's see if I can refuel. This will be a good test. Refuel sorted, problem solved, cool. So it was just that server was a little bit funky. This is the other thing I've found as well. Certain server locations tend to have similar issues to each other, but also certain servers have certain issues that stay to that server. And I think it's sometimes just luck of the draw which issues you're going to suffer from in an evening of gameplay, depending on the server that you happen to be on. Some have very similar issues to each other, some have wildly different issues to each other, and sometimes it's just luck of the draw which ones you're going to encounter. So I've experience with in the evening. So, where were we? Oh yeah, we were trying to locate Matey Boy. I assume that contract is dead, since we didn't finish it and we jumped server. So yeah, okay, so we can confirm the whereabouts of him. We couldn't complete the mission, but we did go to the location address to search for him, and he wasn't there. It says we abandoned it. Well, yeah, because I had to leave the server. So yeah, we haven't got any other okay. Oh, we'll take that one because it needs to come to Seraphim Station straight off the bat. But the available contract's not gone straight to accept it, so this will be interesting. There it is. Well, it's not that slow tonight. Could be worse. I assume that it's local. It appears local at only 46,000k. Yeah, looks like it might be overrun. Selling. I do like being around here because it's got a whole host of bits and pieces around here. Yeah, it's on selling. Fantastic. So it's cruise control. We're in QT mode. It's locked. It's loaded. And we hold B and boom, off we go. Fast travel. Let's crack on. Boom. Now, I'm not too sure that it'll let us get to that pickup site. So let's get to... Well, that's a little too far, that is. Let's out the pickup site. Should we have a look? Let's see what we got. Oh, it's crashed. What's it? So we'll set the route to the private property that says no trespassing. Because that's closest. We're still going to have to short hop about 60k. But that's okay, that won't take too long. Quantum travel down to the private property. And in doing so, we'll go check this place out, shall we? See what's at this pickup site. Yeah, cool. Didn't need to stop me shit. Could have just cracked on. Oh, 93k, because it's put its 20k out, so could be worse, I guess. Let's get to max thrust, which is 1104 on the thrust mark on the velocity gauge. Chowing down the kilometres. Look at that. Chowing it down. Yeah, we're at 4,000 metres, that's not too bad, we can get a little lower. Probably don't want to be much closer because these sites do have gravity, and as you can see, the gravity certainly affects the velocity, so maybe we should be above the 4,000. Oh, redding out. Too much gravity force, yeah. Now, when people say, oh, we're in space, we shouldn't be able to red out. It's the same for astronauts. The physics that they have is that they wear a suit that keeps their body pressurized, right? And the reason it's pressurized is so that they can keep the circulation of their blood from not free flowing, but so that they can, you know, like under those extreme G-forces, keep it in one place. And it's the same for in this game. We're on a ship that we can walk around whilst in 0G. If it was true 0G, these ships wouldn't have
All channels, I'm under attack and need help.
Okay, cool. So we might have some bogeys here, huh? But yeah, we've got ourselves a we've got gravity on these ships, and we're also wearing like spacesuits that are obviously pressurized that keep our skin and what have you protected. So we must therefore have, like RAF fighters as well, pilots. We must have suits that have these qualities to keep our blood and our bones and all the rest of it in the right places, right? So when they say, oh well, we read out, we're in space, we shouldn't be reading out, it's like, well, yeah, actually, yeah, we should, because we are currently, oh, that's smooth, we're currently in a suit that allows for that, and we're also in a ship that we can walk around that actually it generates its own gravity. So the force, the G-force inside the cockpit is still true whether we're in 0G or not. Yeah, and whether it's dampening the outside, the inertia, because inertia still exists even in 0G, right? Like, you wouldn't have people consulted on sci-fi movies from places like aeronautics, aerospace, and all the rest of it, who confirm that these are the physics that, you know, occur in or up to this kind of space flight, and then put it in a sci-fi movie, you know, a show, whatever, if it wasn't actually what happens in with real physics, obviously. So on that note, I would say that, well, I'm going to, oh, here we go, oh, well, this doesn't look good. I think these are the guys that are supposed to, yeah, this might be a bugged mission as well, because I'm pretty sure these guys are supposed to fire on you. Although it looks like they're going to fire on my ship the instant I end up taking off. So this is going to be an interesting turn of events, right? Let's place it. I'll place it there. Although this has happened before, where these guys turn up. Oh my god, there's 4 of them, and they are really big ships. So that blue and white one there, that's directly above me, that thing is a Vanguard. I know that much because I've got one. That looks like a constellation, maybe? No, it's smaller than a constellation. That's a Cutlass. Is that a Cutlass Black, or what is it? Who knows? That thing, I'm not too sure what that is. I think they're bugged. I think we might be okay, unless they're just trying to show off. We'll see. We'll see what happens, shall we? When we... I know I did. I kind of want to carry all of these our way. I think that's going to be important. That looks like an important box. Let's take all of it, shall we? Oh, will it let me in? Oh no, it's not going to let me in. Oh no, is it I was going to say, has it bugged me? Nope, but that was funny. Haha, the infinite spin. Did a bit of breakdance on the floor. Cool. These guys do look like they're circling for a good time. But they do look like they're on a predetermined kind of flight path that suggests that maybe I'm not going to have too much trouble, although astatine suggests that it's a potential drug, I guess. So maybe I'm dealing with drug dealers. Haha, funny. Let's just drop you. I don't know what's in you though, so we'll find out in a bit. Oh dear, another bit of, yeah, cool. Oh, sod off with you. The blasters, as they thrust and stuff, are affecting me enough to yeah, I don't want to say out of commission, but to certainly knock me off my balance. Come on. I'll take this one because I think that one's just food. It looks like food, doesn't it? But it does look like a... this one's flammable. This one has flames on it. Oh, kind of... if I get in it, am I just going to get blasted to pieces? That's funny if so. I'm getting this lost cargo and we've got to go back to Seraphim. Unless these guys were supposed to already be here because of the audio that was played. But then, obviously, doesn't seem to matter too much. We'll soon find out. Let's see what happens when we get in the pilot seat and then switch this thing on and see if I have to make one of the swiftest, dangerous exits out of here possible. So we'll switch on. Boost that shit all the way up, shall we? And then we are going to check for what's directly above us. Mr. Red.
Launch complete.
And go! And then we're gonna get the fuck out, dodge, and come on, come on, come on, come on. I assume that it's bugged and they're supposed to be attacking me, but they're not, so they haven't caught up yet, so we'll get the fuck out of it before they can. Ha ha ha! You dodgy motherfuckers. So yeah, there's another bug. That's another one. Where it's just like, nope. Oh no. And they aren't going to have followed me because they're not following me, so that's good news. Let's do the second jump. Now we're back at Seraphim, mine and a lot of other people's favourite station. Because it is a pretty cool station. Right, the lights around is the ring that we need to be within to request for landing. Let's turn that shit off. Right, so you didn't want to request that I land here, huh? Interesting. Does that mean I've now bugged this one out too? Oh, you got to be joking. Let's see, have we got an open hangar? No, not yet. Sometimes you can be cheeky and just open hangar it. And just fly in. But only if there is an open hangar. It needs to look shut. That's not cool. Is it because I have a crime stat, maybe? Oh no. No. Everything is bugged. Cool. So does that mean that the server's going to die? Let's have a look. Yep, server FPS is at 4.4. And there's the kick. There we go. Right, so we found a fair few bugs today. I think what I'm going to do then is, considering that's 2 hours 45 and it's now 20 past 10, I think that's where I'm going to call it, guys, for today. I've got a little bit done. Not as much as I intended to. Didn't show what I envisaged showing. But I think that's where I'm going to call it. So I'm Spike, gamertag Crunk7up. You can find me on Discord and on YouTube. The links are on the channel. Please like, follow, share, subscribe. Let's just build a community of cool peoples, yeah, and get some communication going. It would be nice to talk to other like-minded people and other gamers. Who knows? Maybe you'll interest me into a game that you have, and who knows? Maybe I'll end up playing it on the channel. Maybe we can play together. Whatever you like. I'm a pretty easygoing dude. So that's it for today. For tonight. Again, apologies for the stream starting late by 39 minutes. That's my fault for being too much into my anime. And hopefully it won't happen again. I will adjust the schedule accordingly. Just keep an eye out for those changes. They're not going to be as static as I've put them. I've only put the schedule as 7 PM to midnight as the time in which I'm most likely to stream across a week, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday or Sunday. But that's the time to look out for those notifications and to check that I'm streaming, to come and watch, come and join, come and have a chat. Please add me on Discord through the Discord server. The link is provided on the stream. It's Colloquial Metaphor Productions, which is my business brand name that I operate under, both for musical purposes, for gaming purposes, content creation, media production, etc. So if you'd like to check me out in any way, shape or form, and that's probably the best place to contact me. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. If you haven't, please come give me some constructive criticism. Come give some feedback. Come let it be known what you would like to see on the stream with regards to Star Citizen, and I'll try and make it happen. But as for tonight, that's the end, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Until next time, probably tomorrow night. Peace.